What's up, guys? Welcome back to IO, where we cover what's going on in tech, whether that's news, products, or just anything cool. Today we've got two bigger stories which we're going to focus on that show developments in two really exciting areas of tech. First, let me ask you this. What if you have an idea for a startup, you want to build something, but you don't know how to code? Well, there's a big movement right now that I think really started gaining steam last year, and that movement is called no code. This is pretty much what it sounds like, where you use various tools to put together apps and projects you would normally use code for. Now, people have been asking me what I think about this movement, and there is a lot of investor interest too. And I'm not just saying that. The company Brighter, which has built a no-code platform to allow people to automate simple things you previously needed code for, well, they just raised $16 million from investors. Now let's get into what no-code is and how it bridges the gap between user-friendly platforms and the customization that code gives you. We'll also talk about a few of the reasons why you should be interested, regardless of if you can already code or not. Like I said before, no code is just a set of tools that allow you to build stuff you'd normally build with code, whether that's scripting or an entire app. An easy example to understand is Webflow, which is a step above a website template, allowing you to drag and drop, add animations, and do a ton of different stuff rather than writing front-end code. Then instead of a database, you could use something more user-friendly like Airtable, which is kind of halfway between a spreadsheet and a traditional database. So this gives you a front end and a back end, which you can link together into a full stack app. Then you can integrate other existing services like, let's say, something for processing payments, and you connect your whole system together with something like Zapier that links the APIs, allowing them to send data between each other. So this is pretty cool for a few reasons. If you can't code, you don't have an excuse anymore not to build your idea. And if you can code, should you be worried about your job? Well, probably not just yet. These tools do have their limitations, whether it's price, lack of features you need in the future, even if you can't think of what those might be now. And also, learning the no-code tools is not quite as much of a hireable skill as coding, so the time invested in learning them may not pay off in the same way. That said, if you are a developer, building your own no-code tool that other people could use to empower people to build their own stuff, well, that seems like a pretty hot market right now. Anyway, if you want a full comparison between code and no code, check out this Indie Hackers podcast episode where there's an hour-long discussion on two experts respectively in these two areas. So that said, it makes sense for our product of the day to be makerpad.co, which it basically just has a ton of articles about no code you can read up on, and even a paid bootcamp if you're interested in that kind of thing. All right, time for our next topic. We all know self-driving is coming, and it's coming fast. It's just a matter of time, and no big company wants to miss out on this. Now, a company called Argo AI that's only 4 years old and based out of Pittsburgh, well, last year they solidified themselves as a contender in the self-driving market when Volkswagen pledged a $2.6 billion investment. And as of this week, that investment was just finalized. This investment was done at a valuation of $7 billion, which is pretty impressive for how old the company is. Argo's got some heavy hitters on their really promising team, with top experts in AI coming from Google and Uber. So a $7 billion plus valuation sounds like a lot, and yes, it is, but what if I told you that Cruise, funded by GM and Honda, was valued at $19 billion? Then on top of that, you have Waymo, which is owned by Alphabet, Google's parent company, which is valued at $30 billion. But get this, Morgan Stanley last year speculated the true value could be $175 billion because Waymo is currently considered to be the market leader. Now, these are astronomical numbers, and apparently these companies are making money in some ways, but at this point in time, they're in no way profitable. Do you know how expensive it is to hire one of these PhD guys? Unless there's another sector I'm not aware of, these might be the most speculatively high-valued companies right now. If there is something that compares, please let me know in the comments. Alright, now I try to add something interesting at the end of every video, and today's is a bit depressing, literally. Apparently, Saturday was the saddest day ever recorded on Twitter, and this chart from Heydometer shows different events' impact on Twitter's overall sentiment. Now, this is pretty easy to do on a small scale by tokenizing the negative words, that is just scanning all the tweets for the negative words, and I'm assuming they also do this here because they break down the words in this graph. But doing this for the scale of all the activity on Twitter, well, that's pretty impressive engineering and going to take a lot of both hardware and software power, unless there's a easy way to do this through the Twitter API. Anyway, that's all I've got today, guys. A little bit light on the actual news, but This sets us up to talk about these topics more in the future. Anyway, I hope you have a great weekend.